This is 4 guys in a car in the Hyundai Santa Fe.
The Santa Fe. And if you're one of those guys that has a family and you're always speeding and your wife is always looking over at the speedometer saying, "Honey, slow down," this is the vehicle for you, because not only is it crossover, you can carry all your crap. You cannot see the speed from the passenger seat.
This model we're testing is a Santa Fe Limited, so it's the full jam, every option, navigation, giant sunroof, beautiful big wheels. It's a very stellar example of this vehicle. I'm a big fan of this Santa Fe.
How much is this Santa Fe?
Well, it starts at the high 20s.
Okay.
It starts at $26,500.
Okay, that's a good price.
And this is $38,500.
That's actually still not that bad.
You know what? Yeah, that Ford Escape we had was over 40.
Yeah, and that's a much tinier car.
Yeah.
This is a lot of car, fully loaded, for not much money.
I lived with this thing for a week previously. Put the kids in it, a bunch of stuff. And the nice thing about this Santa Fe is, like you say, it's a little bit bigger than an Escape or an Equinox and that kind of thing. So there's a little bit more rear leg room. One of the big things is that it really feels like there's more cargo room. So things like, the big stupid $1,000 stroller that my wife wanted to buy fits really nicely in the back, and with room to spare, which is good.
Do you guys like this? Do you feel like you would get your money's worth? Do you feel like it would keep your family safe and secure?
Yeah, you know what? It's for the price, and even the base model. There's a lot of room to this. In this, I think it's great for the suburbs. I couldn't deal with it in the city. It's just too big for the city. But if I were a suburban dad like Bradley, this would be a good solution.
We had the Ford Escape, and then immediately the week after got into the Santa Fe. And the first thing you notice in the Santa Fe, and it sounds like a really lame thing, but you get in and there's this big giant space right here to put cell phones and wallets and whatever else, and the Ford doesn't have it.
Right.
And it's really frustrating in the Ford, because you're like, I got my phone and I got to put it, or your wallet, and you're just and in here there's a cubby here, there's a nice big cubby in the door, and there's a little cubby here, and it's just good.
I do feel safe in this. I do feel coddled. I think it'd be really nice on a road trip. Typically, the one thing I don't like about it, and it's a complaint of all Hyundais, is when we go over bumps, it just has that kind of hollow sound.
Mm-hmm.
It's this weird thing. It's an NVH thing. I'm sure they'll fix it eventually, but you go over bumps and it just feels a little hollow.
I feel like I'm being jostled around a bit back here, and it's loud going over bumps.
Yeah, it feels harsh here, but who cares? I mean, it's all about the front row. Kids are going to ride back here.
Yeah. Also, I mean, this is, like we were saying before, this is a lot of car for not a lot of money.
Yeah, and two things that people forget about NVH as well. Two things that really affect it: gigantic sunroof, and we also don't have the cargo cover on in the back. And just having that big area covered with even just a little piece of token fabric or vinyl, it really helps.
This Santa Fe, like the Elantra GT we tested previously, has the adjustable steering.
Ooh, adjustable steering!
So it's right here. You press this button, and we can have sport steering, we can have comfort steering, and we can have normal steering. And just as in the Elantra GT, all three of them are fairly awful. They don't really lend anything to the car. I mean, it is better than the GT, but as I said there, Hyundai just make one really good setting instead of three that are kind of okay.
According to Hyundai, this will do 11 liters per 100 kilometers in the city, although with my driving that would be more like 18, and it'll do 8.4 highway.
I was averaging about 10 in the highway driving that I was doing, although you really notice with this thing that once you get into the city, its fuel economy starts really clicking up. We're almost at 15 now.
Yeah.
Right, so that's average, if not slightly worse than average.
In the class.
If you pop the hood on any 2013 Santa Fe, you'll only find 4-cylinder engines, which is something that you're seeing a lot of in this segment, is this shift to smaller engines. The V6 will get offered in the long wheelbase version, I guess, because they figure you're going to have 7 people aboard and all their gear. But if this is all, it's either naturally aspirated, or this one actually has a 2-liter turbo engine. And
All right,
it's
let's go. Let's
okay,
go.
here we go.
Let's go.
Wait.
Hit it.
Oh, I don't have a sport mode.
There's no sport button.
Good.
No sport button.
Good. Why would there be a sport mode in a crossover? That's ridiculous.
What are you talking about? Because you got to
All right,
get to soccer
let's go.
practice really fast.
Let's go. You're not selling it.
No.
Oh my! Whoa!
It's building. It's building.
I feel like we almost launched.